Are communication gaps, personality clashes, or team frustration slowing your people down? Coach Cora can help with People Patterns, a DISC team building experience. In this half-day facilitated session, your team will uncover individual DISC styles, explore a full team report, and learn how different people communicate, make decisions, respond to pressure, and work best together. The standard investment is $3,000, but for the month of July, the People Playbook listeners can book this session for $2,500 for up to 10 participants. Bring clarity, connection, and stronger collaboration to your workplace with People Patterns by Coach Cora. Text DISC July to 210-488-3738 right now and get your team on the calendar.
Welcome to the People Playbook, where real people bring real workplace questions, and Coach Cora helps coach through the challenges leaders face every day. From hiring and communication to accountability, trust, team dynamics, and difficult conversations, this is where leadership gets practical, honest, and human. Real people, real questions, real coaching. Now, here's Coach Cora with the People Playbook.
Welcome to the People Playbook. I'm Coach Cora, and I'm excited to share a new format with you. This show has always been about leadership, people, and real conversations. Going forward, we're going to bring that even closer to home. Each week, real people with real workforce challenges will bring their own question to talk through and be coached on. We will work through leadership challenges that they're facing every day, challenges around communication, hiring, accountability, team dynamics, trust, confidence, the people side of work. Live coaching sessions right here on the People Playbook. To be clear, this is not formal coaching sessions that would meet your coaching standards, nor a private executive coaching engagement. These coaching sessions you will get to listen in on are the typical just-in-time coaching conversation. The kind of practical, focused conversation that helps someone pause, look at the situation differently, name what is really happening, and identify a next step they can use right away. As an organizational resource for people development for over 25 years, I have firsthand knowledge of how impactful and important these just-in-time sessions are. From finding the words to have a productive, crucial conversation, to wrapping our head around an issue and having a sounding board that asks excellent questions to facilitate problem solving. These conversations provide the opportunity for leaders to show up in the upcoming conversation, the situation, with more clarity, purpose, and confidence. The payoff of effective leadership communication and decision-making is not priceless. It is worth its time in gold. Because sometimes leadership does not need a 12-step plan. Sometimes it needs a clearer question, a better conversation, and the courage to take the next right step. And a confidant to help them get there. Today, I want to use this solo episode to set the foundation for those future conversations by talking about one of the most practical leadership concepts I know. Situational leadership, and specifically the self-leadership part of this model. Leadership works best when there is no guessing involved. This is why clarity of expectations and defined KPIs and KRAs is the number one measurable performance of a leader. This is the underlying foundation of providing performers helpful and productive direction and overall feedback. When leaders do not know how to set goals and provide explicit measurables, feedback lacks luster. And this is where frustration grows and performance flounders. Too often, leaders are trying to figure out what people need, while performers are waiting for leaders to magically know what they need. This creates frustration on both sides. A leader may think, why aren't they taking ownership? And the employee is thinking, why aren't they giving me direction? And somewhere in the middle, the work slows down, trust gets strained, and people start making assumptions. It is the situational self-leadership model that helps close that gap. This gives performers a way to understand where they are in relation to a specific goal or task, and the language to communicate that. It gives leaders a better way to provide the right level of direction and support in direct response to the performer's needs, not a guess. This coaching model takes us away from labeling people as good or bad performers, which invites us to be so antagonistic. Through the situational leadership model, a leader develops understanding of what someone needs right now for this goal in this situation. For leaders, this replaces the feedback conversation centered on what people are doing wrong and replaces it with a coaching conversation that asks, what do you need? Which is a far more productive conversation. For the individual performer, this means they are moved from having to receive feedback that identifies all of their failures and facilitates their ability to articulate what they need while participating in their own performance goals and development. So let's define what is situational leadership, just in simple terms. Situational self-leadership is the ability to look at your own work, your own goals, and your own development and ask, what do I need in order to be successful here? It means I don't wait for somebody else to notice that I'm stuck or somebody else to decide what next step is needed to improve my performance. It's also not pretending you have absolutely everything handled when you don't. Without this common language and shared goal agreement with their leader, performers have a tendency to mask their incompetence. And we often applaud that as figuring it out. Go figure it out. And although the perseverance and the can-do attitudes are appreciated, masking our incompetence typically translates into poor productivity, missed deadlines, unnecessary mistakes, and eventually avoidance. Because you know what? It just sucks not to be good at something. And our natural response to that is to avoid it. Or even better, blame it on my leader. They failed to read my mind. So when we teach this model, we facilitate performers learning how to measure their skill against the goal and identify what they need to achieve their specific performance outcomes. The model itself has the potential to align performance throughout the entire organization, but it starts with educating the individual so that they are empowered to measure their performance against their ability and execute with confidence. Because we know building confidence is done through competence. When I know I'm doing well, I feel good about doing the work that I do. So I'm going to highlight 3 key pieces of the model through the lens of self-leadership. I'm going to look at goal setting, skill diagnosis, and leadership actions and resources. You cannot diagnose performance needs or give effective feedback around a vague goal. This model starts by facilitating conversations grounded in measurable expectations. The KRAs, the key responsibility areas that drive individual KPIs. How will I be measured? My key performance indicators. This means I have clarity of how my results will be measured and what I need to accomplish on a daily or weekly basis to make that happen. Therefore, the very first piece of self-leadership is goal clarity. Before a person can say, I need help, they need to know what they are trying to accomplish. A lot of workplace frustration starts because the goal was never clear in the first place. Maybe the leader thinks the expectation is obvious. Maybe the employee thinks they understand it. But when the work comes back incomplete, misaligned, or late, both sides realize they were not working off the same picture. So some practical questions someone who is a self-led leader can ask is, what does success look like? What is the actual outcome needed from me? What does done well mean? How will I be measured on that? What is your timeline? What decisions can I make, and what decisions will I need approval on? This approach and proactive questions also helps them advocate for what they need without sounding unprepared. When we have clear goals, we reduce rework, confusion, conflict, and wasted energy. People move much faster because they're aligned earlier. Therefore, empowering the performer with knowledge, skills, and abilities to self-advocate and to collaborate with their leader results in measurable outcomes. Think about this. I tell somebody that reports to me, hey, take the lead on onboarding the new hire. That may sound clear, but it's not. Does that mean create the schedule? Does that mean train them? Will they shadow me? Will I shadow them? Does that mean I go introduce them to the team? Am I supposed to take them to lunch? Do I monitor them for how long? Am I supposed to report back to leadership? There's a lot of questions. So until that goal is clear, the person cannot accurately assess what they need. So in this situation, a very clear list of objectives and agreed upon timelines creates a three-way win. The new employee gets the information they need. The training employee does so with confidence, having clarity of their role in the onboarding, and the leader can rely on the written reported status to ensure things are moving according to their expectations. This is the importance of the goal. Make it clear. And so the next question becomes, do I currently have the skills and the confidence to do this well? So when we clarify the goals, the skills needed become illuminated. So different goals require different levels of skill, confidence, and direction. This is where situational self-leadership really becomes powerful. We're not just diagnosing the person. What we are trying to diagnose is the person's readiness for a specific task or project. Because someone can be highly skilled in one area, but brand new in another. And that matters. A strong performer can still need direction when the task is unfamiliar. A new employee can still be confident in the area where they have experience. And a manager can be capable and still need coaching when facing a new type of conversation. Here are a couple practical diagnosis questions one could ask of themselves. Have I done this before? Do I know the steps? Do I understand the standard? Do I know where the risks are? Am I confident or uncertain? Do I feel motivated or frustrated? Am I overwhelmed? And what do I need? Do I need direction, support, feedback? Or do I just simply need some space to get it done? This helps remove the shame from needing help. The question changes from what is wrong with me to what does this task require from my inventory of skills. That is a much healthier, more productive way to look at my own personal development. This puts emotional literacy skills into active practice. We learn to self-assess, identify gaps, seek what is needed from others so that I can close my own performance gaps. This moves the performer and leader out of a codependent nature and into a collaborative one of mutual respect. This helps organizations by preventing leaders from creating performers who are reliant on them to answer questions, to make decisions, to identify the next step. Without diagnosis, we're back to the guessing game. Because this is where underleading happens, leaving someone who needs direction left to figure it out alone. Or overleading happens when somebody who is perfectly capable gets micromanaged. Both of these styles damage trust. Both suspend the growth of the performer. Skill diagnosis helps the leader match their response to the actual need. A team member may be excellent with customers, but inexperienced with documentation. If the leader says, "You are a senior person, you should know this," the employee may experience embarrassment and avoid asking for additional help or for asking in the future. But if the employee can say, I'm comfortable with the customer conversation, but I may need more direction on the documentation process. Now the leader understands what the need is and can help. This is self-leadership. So once you understand the goal and diagnose the skill need, the third piece is identifying what I need from others. Healthy working relationships improve when people can ask for the right kind of help. Support does not always mean rescue. Support can mean, direction. What are the next steps? It can mean feedback. Here's what you did well. Here's how to do better. It can mean encouragement. Hey, that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. That's done very well. Good for you. It can mean access to resources. What do you need? It can also remove barriers. And it can certainly mean just simply checking in and seeing how somebody's doing. One really effective way to build relationships between leaders and performance is the ability for the employee to say, here is what I need to be successful. And recognizing that that is not a weakness, that is ownership. Practical language that performers can use with their leaders. I understand the outcome, but I need some clarity on the first few steps. I do have the skill, but I would benefit from your feedback before this goes final. I can own this, but I need help removing a specific barrier. I am confident in the work, but I need alignment on priorities. I need more direction up front, and then I can run with it. When an individual is able to communicate this to their leader, it builds their own confidence, improves the communication, and drives ownership. People learn how to advocate without complaining and asking for help without handing off responsibility. This builds healthier leader-performer relationships because expectations become very visible. Leaders do not have to guess, what do you need from me? Employees do not have to hide uncertainty. I don't know how to do this. Teams become more honest, adaptive, and effective. The healthiest workplace relationships are not built on people pretending they don't need anything. They are built on people being able to clearly name what they need to do their best work. So when you are facing a task, a goal, a project, or a people challenge, I challenge those of you out there as an individual performer to be self-led. Because when you lead yourself well, you absolutely improve your leader's ability to lead you. So here are some goals that I would challenge you with. What is the goal? And do I know with clarity what success looks like? My next question, what is my current skill and confidence level with this goal? Have I done it before? And do I know how to do it and do it well in a way that meets the standards and expectations? Because if I don't, I can get development on those skills. If I've done it before, what is different about this? And then once I've said, I understand the goal and how it'll be measured, and I understand the skill level needed to do that, the third one is, what do I need from others? Do I need direction? What are the first 3 steps? Do I need feedback? How did I do on this? Do I need somebody to encourage me that I'm on the right track? Are there resources I need access to? Do I just need space? Hey, I'm going to run with this. This is self-leadership. And it will help you as a performer lead yourself better, and again, helps leaders lead you more effectively. And this is the kind of thinking that we're going to bring into the new format of the People Playbook. Because we're going to have people come in with the questions about their employers or their leaders and who is not following through. Maybe we're going to talk about a hiring decision that feels uncertain, or a team member who needs accountability, or a leader who is struggling to communicate expectations. Together, we're going to slow that situation down, and we're going to look at what's really happening, and we're going to define the next best leadership move. So in the coming weeks, you will hear real people bringing real workplace challenges to the show. Some might be leaders, some will be managers, some will be business owners. Some may be simply professionals trying to navigate the people side of work more effectively. They will bring real situations many of us face every day. How do I have this conversation? How do I know if I'm hiring the right person? How do I hold someone accountable without damaging trust? How do I lead someone who's capable but disengaged? How do I step into leadership with more confidence? We're going to coach through these questions in a practical, respectful, just-in-time way. And what you're going to see is this situational leadership model emerge because they are going to be empowered through coaching conversations. And we're going to see self-advocacy be many of the steps they're going to take. And we'll see the willingness and the confidence to take ownership. And as we set up steps through the coaching, you will see how their leader will be empowered to be more effective. Because if one person is asking these questions or having these challenges, we know there are several others who are as well. I'm also excited to announce that each month, the People Playbook will feature a local nonprofit spotlight. This is an opportunity to highlight organizations doing meaningful work in our community, the programs, the people, and the purpose behind the service. So I would ask my listeners, if you know of a nonprofit program that deserves to be seen, heard, and supported, I want to hear about it. The People Playbook is about leadership, people, and community. And our nonprofits are often where some of the most powerful leadership lessons are happening every single day. So whether you are leading a team, growing a business, serving a community, or simply trying to lead yourself better through the next challenge, I would like for you to remember this. Leadership gets healthier when people can name the goal, understand what they need, and ask for support clearly. So here's the play for today. 3 key points. Goal setting. Clear goals help people understand what success looks like. It reduces confusion and creates alignment between the leader and performance. Starting with a clear goal that is measurable will reduce so much frustration, mistakes, and rework. Set that goal well at the beginning. Second point in this play for today. Diagnose your own skill. I need to be very clear on what I have done, what I'm capable of, and what I still need to learn. That's a big part of emotional literacy, and it's a big part of coaching. I need to understand that different levels of direction and support are needed depending on a task. I can be an expert on one task and still be a beginner on another. And when I'm open with myself and honest with myself, what I'm skilled at doing, have done, and know how to do, and what I have not done, and what I'm unsure of, and what I don't know how to do, then self-diagnosis becomes easy. And it removes all of that shame and discomfort that often people feel like if they need help. And it transitions into owning my own development and owning my own performance. And that's what helps my leader from overleading and underleading. And once I've done these 2 things, then people can clearly ask for the kind of support they need and improve my trust and my communication with my leader, and my performance becomes sustainable. When people understand what they need and leaders know how to respond, work gets healthier. And that is how we build stronger people, stronger teams, and stronger relationships. So join me, Coach Cora, on 9:30 a.m. The Answer on the People Playbook next Saturday at 2 p.m., and we will have a live coaching session.
And that's the play for today. Leadership is not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to ask better questions, listen deeper, and lead people with clarity and care. Join Coach Cora next week for more real people, real questions, and real coaching. right here on the People Playbook. If you have a real workplace challenge you would like coached through on air, bring it to the People Playbook website at CoachCora.com/People Playbook and click Ask a Question.
Are communication gaps, personality clashes, or team frustration slowing your people down? Coach Cora can help with People Patterns, a DISC team building experience. In this half-day facilitated session, your team will uncover individual DISC styles, explore a full team report, and learn how different people communicate, make decisions, respond to pressure, and work best together. The standard investment is $3,000, but for the month of July, the People Playbook listeners can book this session for $2,500 for up to 10 participants. Bring clarity, connection, and stronger collaboration to your workplace with People Patterns by Coach Cora. Text DISC July to 210-488-3738 right now and get your team on the calendar.